Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Now, step 45. I never came back to the model table yesterday, so we don't have a rollback. When I sat down here this morning a little while ago, I thought, there's a good chance we might get done step 45 today, but because I'm thinking that, we probably won't. We're probably going to run into little difficulties. A couple of viewers thought that maybe I should have installed this deck first before I put the motor and the frame in place. But I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, really, there's only one place that I have to glue this down, and it's right there where this tongue goes into the slot, which keeps rotating out of sight. I think we're going to be okay with that. The trick will be to get these pieces to dry so that they're not too much one way or the other, so that they'll line up on this other bulkhead. Yeah. I don't have any big news. This morning's sunrise was very hazy. Haven't seen the walkers yet. Check it out later. Once again, we're ready for Missy the dog. Oh, I did go out on my bike yesterday, and it was just a coincidence. I ran into the neighbor with Missy, and they were a long ways from here, nowhere near where I thought they'd be. They'd wandered off down the street that I just happened to go down. So, yeah, I was able to give Missy a little dog cookie. That worked out okay. Now, oh, and I said that I was going to quit early. Yeah, I think when I got started yesterday morning, I said I might be quitting early today because I wanted to, work on my Bike Box edition. Well, I did actually work on it, sort of. I drew it out on the computer exactly the way I want it. Maybe I'll explain that later. Okay, let's recompose here and get this piece in place. This bulkhead goes on the last. That's the last thing we put down. And like I say, I'm hoping that when we try to get it down, all these parts that were, and there's about 6 or 8 of them, they've got to all line up. And it's kind of hard to get them all to line up without breaking stuff. So we'll see what happens. Well, excuse me. Enough talk here. Let's recompose and glue this down. Okay, when we try to maneuver our deck in place here, there are some things that I have to be careful of. For instance, there's another one of those little taps. I'm not even going to touch it because who knows how almost ready it is to fall off. It is. There's another one here. I know it looks like it's at a bit of an angle. Well, it's supposed to be that way. Now these little green ones in the bottom there, I don't think we need to worry too much about them. They're just protected by that pipe work. Yeah, but other than the parts on the side of the engine here, this is probably going to be the most likely piece that we break off. However, if I'm very careful and move methodically here, now I might have to turn this so it's not going to be the best in your field of view, and yet, okay, so being careful not to break the fire extinguisher off, which is that. I think if I hold it at the end like this, I'm just doing a dry fit right now. I'll very, very gently maneuver this in here. If the dry fit works, I think what I'll do is I'll just put some extra thin I'm getting very, very close to that tap that I was saying I didn't want to break off. Okay, just let me turn this here. I'm not. What's the problem here? It's not coming. It's almost coming. I think I'm touching that tap, aren't I? Why won't that go? Okay. Okay, it's basically in place, but that, oh no, the tap is, you know, I almost need my my spotlight here. It's kind of dark in there. I'm going to just recompose here a bit. Okay, I think I'm just going to tape this down just a little bit here, because when I was noticing when I was working at it before, I was moving it around, and when I, you know, have everything precisely in focus here, okay, that'll help. All right. Now, you know, looking in the screen, I can almost see this better, but not really. Okay, now we got to get that tongue in that slot. Let's move my cup here just a little bit. Very, very carefully now. If I go slowly and methodically. The tongue is almost in place there. I think it's a case of it just needs to be lubricated a bit. Yeah, I think if I was to put some, maybe I should take it back out and fill that crevice. I'm just going to turn this away from you here, because I gotta watch what I'm doing while I'm being very careful. Okay, maybe I could just leave it there like that. That way I can still get in there. And we'll take our extra thin here now. How can I get in there? I'm not really getting it. I'm gonna have to once again turn this a bit out of your field of view here. Sorry about that. Okay, now I think if we can just get that in there and why am I having so much trouble here? It just doesn't want to lift up. I'm afraid to put any force on it. That's the problem. Okay, sorry. Gotta do it again. Okay, there. Now it's almost in. Now if I sort of push down from the top and wiggle it like this. Now, am I accidentally breaking anything off? I don't think so. Oops. There. It's in. It's in. And it seems to be pretty much all the way down. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I should I'll put some extra thin in from the back here. Oh, my applicator's not long enough. I almost need the hypodermic needle for this one. Wonder if I should get it, and then I could actually get some in there, because yeah, this isn't quite. Okay, just hang on a second. Okay, it's flooded. Yeah, I don't think I need to put any more on. What I need to do is just sort of work it back and forth so that it gets completely seated. In other words, it's working all the paint and everything out of the crevice. I think that's probably as far down as it can go, and it looks like it's square to me. Or should it maybe go a little bit closer to the? Let's see here. It looks like maybe it should rock a little bit more this way. Yeah, it's not quite square with these rails. Okay, I think we've wasted enough time here. I was talking earlier about putting an addition onto my bike box. Well, early last spring I designed my bike box exactly the right size for the Rebel. I never thought I'd want to, upgrade maybe to a Goldwing, which is a little bit longer. So I got to make sort of a little shed on the box, you might say, so that the front wheel can stick in. And in these drawings I did yesterday, you can see what I've got in mind here. All I have to do now is measure this part and cut all the pieces, and yeah, I'll be ready to go if I actually go through with this foolishness. Okay, let's try and get this down as far as it will go. I think that's probably it. I was just thinking, I wonder if I was to have nipped, where's the Tamiya nippers here? I was just thinking, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. One of the reasons why it might not be going all the way in is because that this is too long. So let's just cut that off. It doesn't have to be that long. Okay. I'm going to just rehydrate the end of this. Yeah, it could be that that thing was just so long it couldn't go all the way down into the hole. And then this is going to fit better now. Okay, I think I've made enough of a mess here. But where it was where it was catching was right where I'm pushing down right now. Okay, let's let that dry. I think that might help do the trick. Hello, Missy. How are you doing?
The air is warm. The wind is, I think, 60 km to the southeast.
Oh my.
Makes it feel cooler.
Oh, you just can't wait. You saw those crumbs, didn't you? Yeah, you saw those crumbs. Okay, I think I got you. A lot of little pieces here for you, Missy. Little tiny pieces. $60K. Well, in the fall we often get strong winds.
That's why we're warm. The strong winds blow the air up from the south.
Oh, here. I keep forgetting that. It looks like there's a lot there, but they're kind of small. Kind of small. They were big pieces, but they're not anymore.
And that little handle telescopes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes out to about 3 meters. Or a little better. Is there one left there, Missy? Is there one left? There. You got it. You got it. Yeah. You got it, girl.
People have got hanging their Halloween stuff out. And there was a black cloth phantom in a tree, and as we went by, the wind blew it out, and Missy went, "Whoa! What was that?"
What was that? Yeah. What was that, eh, Missy? What was that? It's Halloween. Yeah, you're gonna see lots of funny people coming to your door.
Oh, this is the latest. I think I've ever been out.
Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. Now, remember this one that I glued the wheel in the wrong place? We concluded that if we flip it over end for end, it's pretty much right, except that one end had a square fitting and the other end had a round fitting. So what I had to do was this one right here. I've made it was the square one, and I have, seems to me, I poked it round with a pointy thing. And on the other end, where it's round, I've adjusted the, I guess it's this one here. I should really be putting the macro lens on. Yeah, let's just stick the macro lens on here. Now I can just hear somebody saying, "Hey, that's not the macro lens." Well, when I was setting up to put the macro lens on, we were going to put a piece right here. But then I was remembering that there was another long rod, and I was thinking, where does it go? And it actually goes right in that hole just down there. It's a little awkward to get at. But it doesn't matter which end of this shaft we put in. It's all the same. So I'm wondering here. I wonder if I could use this to just put a tiny little bit of. Cause I can't really get the. There we go. And I will moisten an end here. Oh, in yesterday's episode, I failed to bleep out some of the dead spots, and there was some long pauses, I remember. Okay, now this one here. Okay, I believe that's in. Okay, you can see here where this one used to be a square hole, and we have then tried to make it a round hole. Maybe I could use the ordinary applicator for this one, but whoops. Alright, I will somehow use Tony's tweezers here. Now this one's going to be a little harder to do because it's going to want to fall over the wrong way. Whoops. The last one we did. Oh. Okay, the last one we did, I was able to lean it up against the motor. Now if I lean this one up against the motor, maybe I should try and rig up the helping hands here. I'm just going to push stop for a minute. Okay, I've got the helping hands rigged up here, and I'm going to snap a couple of pictures so that you can see what's happening. And it kind of looks like maybe the alligator clip is clamped down onto the shaft, but it's not. It's sitting loose in that little opening spot there. And it's just supported perpendicular. Now we're going to have to wait a while. Otherwise, it's going to fall over again. I don't know how long we're going to have to wait. Maybe I could employ the heat gun a little bit. I would like to. I had been planning on getting this, module done today, but I can see now we're probably not. Okay, the helping hands are still in place the way you saw it from the snapshots. But I'm thinking, well, while we're doing that, we should be able to fit this in place here. I think it may stay in place. I was going to use Tony's tweezers to hold it, but ooh, I'm making a mess. Yeah, I think it's down. Okay, now it's just staying there all by itself. Oh, it's too bad I made a mess there. Weathering. Yeah, weathering. Okay, I'm going to wait until these connections dry a little better before I start messing around with anything else. And I know it's a little bit early. It's not even noon yet. But it is 18.2 Celsius outside. Thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we'll see you tomorrow.